Another point that interested me was about love and sexual relationships. When I approached this matter a few days after the previous case, he told me, "Love is the key to everything, because it is the force that preserves and maintains everything." The formula to love God above all things and your neighbor as yourself requires a very deep consideration. No one can love his neighbor more than himself, but to love oneself requires a certain type of impressions that are a bit difficult to explain. If we see and consider love from the point of view of impressions, we will see that those who are in love see it all rosy. That is a very special nourishment. But when one loves knowingly, consciously, with full knowledge and with full understanding, the delights of the person in love are nothing compared with the delights of love that sprouts only from the spirit. To love oneself well is to yearn for inner growth, and this requires normality. Someone who suffers from an inhibition or frustration cannot love himself. So loving oneself necessarily implies the normal balance of all functions, including sexual. But this is difficult to understand unless the adultery in love is understood. Adultery in love, from this point of view, is having a loving or sexual relationship with someone whom one doesn't fully love, and the love must be mutual. Only conscious love can produce true love. There is a very big difference between loving and being in love. The former presupposes self-knowledge to a certain extent and understanding of certain laws, while the latter is a thing predetermined by the life of nature for the purposes of the creation and maintenance of life. For a conscious evolution, balance and normality are necessary. This is determined by your own understanding. In addressing this issue, the Gospels use the expression "unak." But before indicating this, it is indicated that the order comes from the interior word. And this is comprehension. A few days later, my friend gave me a writing, a poem, whose contrast with the aridity of his explanatory words, which I have quoted, caught my attention. The poem goes like this. God gave the sun the earth as a wife and blessed that love when he created the moon. In this way he also created you, woman, to pour his life into human love. And so that in the pleasure of loving the soul finds the path of return to where it always is today, where there is no change. Because just as life goes to death for love, so love rises from death where there is an awakened heart that knows how to hold it in his loving and his dying. With each kiss the soul dies a little when forgetting that it is life in love. And, for the same reason, with each kiss can revive the soul of someone who knows how to die. O paradox of creation! In each breath of love there is a sigh that is eternity. And in each caress the fire of death and resurrection also burns. Raise the simple and plain love to the highest summits, so that loving and kissing are a prayer of life to the most intimate being who is the truth and is God, because it is not you who loves, but the love of the Father that shakes within you. Yours will be his most powerful blessing if in each kiss you give and receive you sanctify his name, keeping his presence in your most intimate longings. And in your love, seek also first the kingdom of God and its justice, so that everything else, even the happiness of being, will be given to you in addition. And do not be afraid to love, rather fear those who can turn your love into prejudice or evil. Make of your union a serene path to heaven. As long as you carry his presence in your hearts, you will truly be loving God above all else while loving one another. And in the instant of your supreme bliss, you will be one with him and with his creation.